Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to our next edition of On the Chalkboard here with bloggingtheboys.com. I am Joey Ickes, and we're here at the board today. We're going to take a look at the first part in a series on the read option, something the Cowboys are going to see pretty regularly this year on defense. So we're going to take a look at it, try to understand it a little better. Our own Blue-Eyed Devil did a really solid initial breakdown of it in the fan post section. You should go check that out. But here we've got to look at an offense in the pistol offense and a far formation. I've just got the core of the formation here. So it's a far formation, meaning the fullback is far from the tight end. That's that terminology there. So it's a strong right far formation. So the fullback ends up on the weak side here. And an offset I, where if the quarterback was in the under center, it'd be a very traditional formation that we'd see every week from every team almost in the NFL. But now we've got him in the pistol formation to show what we might see an RG3 doing or somebody like that. And we've got the defense in a 4-3 over. I went ahead and put the safeties because they play a big role in run support here. So we're going to take a look at a little bit of the nuance of the read option. As Blue-Eyed Devil covered and as so many people have covered, the idea of the read option is the quarterback takes the ball, he puts the ball in the belly or in the chest of the running back, and it's called the mesh point, and he reads a specific defensive player, usually a defensive end or a 3-4 outside linebacker, to determine whether he's going to hand the ball off or he's going to keep the ball and go around the corner. So here we've got the defense lined up here, and I'm going to go ahead and circle the guy who we're reading here. So if we've got this defensive end that we're reading, the philosophy is a lot of times these guys are your best athletes, your best overall players on your defense. Think DeMarcus Ware and Anthony Spencer. Those guys are awesome players. So these are the guys that a lot of times an offensive coordinator is going to say it's probably easier to read that person than it is to try to block him. So we don't want to devote 2 people to trying to block him. So all we're going to do is we're going to read him. We're going to make him make a decision and try to do our best to make that decision a bad decision, no matter what decision it is. So we're going to talk here about a play that in the Nevada offense, it's called the arc bluff. So we've got here, essentially, the quarterback is going to open to the strong side of the formation, and the running back is going to come through here, and the mesh point is going to be right in here. So he's at the mesh point. Well, what's the offensive line doing in front of? The offensive line is essentially blocking an inside zone blocking play to the far side of the formation. So they're going to the open side of the formation here, and I'm simplifying the blocking scheme quite a bit, obviously. So they're moving this way and blocking this inside zone blocking scheme, the offensive line, as well as our inline tight end, leaving this defensive end who's attacking the play most of the time to come by here unblocked, and now he's got a decision to make. Because he sees the ball in the belly of the running back, he can either attack down the line, which has historically been the way that those backside players play a zone run to the opposite side. They don't get past, they stay in front of the ball, and they stay behind the ball, and they come across the line of scrimmage and pursue from the backside. So he's going to turn this way, and if he gives the ball off to the running back, or the defensive end has the opportunity to cut across here, or attack up the field at the quarterback. If he attacks up the field, the quarterback is going to hand the ball off, and it's going to become a zone run, an inside zone run back this way. So a lot of times you'll see this play run, and it looks like this running back makes this great cut. As soon as he gets the ball, he makes this cut to the backside. But really all he's doing is it's almost a counter play that they're setting up, where he goes to the wrong side and then cuts back across to the side that's actually being blocked. The real nuance of this play, because this is just a basic zone read, we're blocking a zone play, we're reading the backside end, that's a zone read. The nuance to the read option that a lot of teams are putting in, San Francisco's putting it in, Washington's putting it in, is what's called the arc block that's here by the F. So he's going to take an arc path here, so he's going to arc around on the snap of the ball, and he's going to come around here, and he's not going to block this defensive end, he's going to come up over the top. Now Blue-Eyed Devil in his fan post, his second part, he detailed a technique called a scrape exchange, where the defensive end is always going to attack down on the handoff, and then the defensive coordinator is going to have his weak side linebacker or the outside linebacker on that side, what they call scrape around the outside. So he's going to scrape around the outside here, so they're essentially exchanging roles. So instead of him having the contain on the run and him having the fill on the gap here, he's going to take the inside gap and he's going to exchange around. So the theory behind that is this defensive end, by attacking down, is going to tell the quarterback to keep the ball, and then when he keeps it around the corner, the will linebacker is going to be there waiting on him. Offensive coordinators learned this technique, so they started this arc block. So he's going to come around the corner here, and his job is to block this weak side linebacker, that outside linebacker there. So now if the quarterback decides to keep and come around the corner because the guy attacks down the line, he comes around the corner and he's got a block, and now it's a safety coming at an angle or a corner coming from the inside that are the only people that have a chance to get him. So that's the answer. And this also kind of messes with this defensive end, because a lot of times we'll see this guy come across on a regular run play, on a wham play or something like that, where he's going to come across and he's going to actually block this defensive end, and it's going to create a crease here for the running back to run through. And there's a certain technique used by the defensive end to counter that. So he sees this guy coming at him, and he doesn't know if it's a counter or if it's the read option or what's coming at him, so he doesn't know what technique to play. So it really puts this defensive end in a bad situation, and it gets the opportunity to block this guy on the exchange and really get your quarterback, who in this offense is probably the most dynamic athlete on your team, or else you wouldn't risk putting the ball in his hands on running plays all the time. So he's got the ball in his hands, out in open space, and he's got a lot of room to run. As you can kind of see, it puts the defense in a lot of binds. It takes away a lot of situations that defenses like to be in, where they know what they're doing and they have specific techniques to play against certain things that the offense is doing. But this is kind of the back and forth. This is the chess game that offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators go through in order to, okay, we see the read option, this is how we're going to stop it. We're going to scrape exchange it, the will linebacker will be there for the run outside, the defensive end can make the tackle inside, great. Okay, so now what does the offensive coordinator do? He puts the arc block in, it messes with the defensive end, then he gets to block the will linebacker, quarterback gets around the corner, and it becomes a big play again. There's a lot more nuance to this that we'll go over in future videos, but this is just a really solid little breakdown on what the basic zone read option looks like from an X's and O's standpoint, decision-making standpoint. As I said, we'll take a look again in later posts at some different nuances, some things people are doing to change it and make it more effective, make it more withstanding and be able to last longer in the league, as opposed to things that happen with the Wildcat or other what people might call gimmick offenses. They want to make this a long-standing offense, so they're doing a lot of things to try to work with it as a piece of an actual offensive system. There was a piece done on the sideline view, which I've linked to in the post that goes with this video, that breaks down the numbers on how many snaps each team that ran the zone read last year ran it, what formation they ran it out of, what it looked like. But this is just a good basic breakdown for us to get started with, and we'll move forward in some more nuance as we go. So let us know what your thoughts are, any questions you have, what your thoughts are on how to defend it, and we look forward to speaking with you in the comments section, and we hope you have a wonderful day.